Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sink, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC, and that means supporting the easiest team to play against in the Premier League right now. Brighton 3, Chelsea 0 points. Oh, mate, this is just... Where do you even go from here, man? Where do you even go from here? Like, season's over. Europe, wow. We'll probably end up in the Conference League, you know, and honestly, that's like actually the worst case scenario, because Europa League, I'd be like, okay, all right, Europa League, some good teams in it, can be a fun competition, not quite as prestigious as the Champions League, but a winnable competition. Champions League, it's gone, isn't it? It's gone. Conference League, that'd be a nightmare, because there's loads more games, and it's just like, oh, I'd rather literally just finish outside of the top 8 at this point, so we don't even have to worry about getting into the Conference League. What is happening? Why is this so hard being a Chelsea fan? So look. Liam Rosenior, right? Let's talk about Liam Rosenior a little bit. He's lost the dressing room, man. They're gone. They're just gone. They're absolutely gone. I think the thing is, you know, it'd be really easy to be like, oh, João Pedro, Cole Palmer injured, Reece James is out. Do you know what I mean? You know, so many players that we would normally rely on, but it's not, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter at this point. It's not about the players that we're missing. It's about what Liam Rosenior is doing with the players that we have. And the answer to that question is not much. Unfortunately, the starting lineup, he went for a back three, like a weird back three thing at the beginning, and that in itself wasn't necessarily a bad thing, because one thing I've seen in my comments recently is people being like, oh, I can't believe Liam Rosenior's not even changing anything. Why doesn't he just try like a back three? But he tried that and it still doesn't work. It still doesn't work. So, look, they just don't care, do they? He's just lost him. He's not getting performances. The thing is, there was enough players on the pitch that you can expect reasonable performances out of to not have got It's not even about the fact that we lost. It's about the fact that that's the 4th straight Premier League game without scoring a goal. That's like 5 games or whatever, or 5 in the last 6 or 6 in the last 7 that we haven't scored a goal. We haven't kept a clean sheet since his first Premier League game in January. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. So the starting lineup was as follows. I'm not bothering my graphics today. I'm just going to raw dog this one and we're just going to get it straight out. Rob Sanchez, so I'm looking at SofaScore. Rob Sanchez, 7.3, even though he was at fault for the first goal. But I guess that doesn't really matter, does it? Because we got battered 3-0. So Rob Sanchez was the best performer on the pitch today. Fantastic. Yoro Hato, Trevor Chalobah, Wesley Fofana made up a back 3 with Malagusto, Marco Correa supposedly playing wing backs, a midfield 3 of Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez and Romeo Lavia. With Liam, well, I've seen a couple of different, like, the formations and styles. So at the beginning, it looked like we were playing 2 up top, but that's not really what happened. Enzo Fernandez ended up drifting out a lot more to the left, and then Pedro Neto completes the lineup on the right. Supposedly, based on this, Pedro Neto had the worst game. He got a 6, which is the low. For somehow, this squad is full of yellows, but, mate, Liam Delap is awful and just needs to go. Moises Caicedo is not flourishing under Liam Rosenior. Romeo Lavia, whatever, I can't really put too much on him because he's coming back from a long injury and hasn't played a lot of football recently. Enzo Fernandez, obviously not a fan of Liam Rosenior, as we know about the Real Madrid stuff. Marco Correa, also the same, not loving life at Chelsea at the moment. Pedro Neto, just been pretty bad recently. Malagusto, you never really expect him to win you a game, although he nearly got an assist at one point, or he put one good cross in. He looked really frustrated that no one got on the end of it. Wesley Fofana, awful at the moment. Trevor Chalobah, yeah, okay, cool. Chalobah, a couple of good moments from Chalobah. Yoro Hato playing reasonably well for a left-back who's been asked to play in a centre-back role. So, look, it's all just bad, man. It's all just bad. I'm losing my will to live. Substitutions. Alejandro Garnacho came on the 46th minute for Wesley Fofana, and we decidedly changed shape to go to a back 4. Alejandro Garnacho got a 6.2, but looked like our most dangerous player, which is terrifying because Alejandro Garnacho has been one of our worst players for a little while now. Mark Gue came on in the 72nd minute for Liam Delap and also offered nothing, so that didn't make much of a difference. Dario Usugo came on for Romeo Laverne in the 73rd minute, and Josh Achiampong came on in the 90th minute for Malagusto for kicks, just for the vibe. Let's get Josh on for some reason or other. Look, man, I don't really know where we go from here. I will be surprised if I don't finish recording this video and see that Liam Rosenior has been sacked. I saw it cut to after we conceded the first goal in the 5th minute, by the way. It cut to Egbali, and he did not look happy, man. He did not look happy at all. And the thing is, like, they've just got what they're going to have to be thinking now, because obviously all the PR that's coming out is Liam Rosenior has been really involved in detailed conversations about who we're going to go for in the summer and this and that and the other. But now, as the sporting directors and the owners, you've got to be looking at this and being like, mate, are we about to give this guy a bunch of money and a load of new players when he's been on the worst run of form that Chelsea have been on in 28 years. 28 years. Let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in. I don't know. I'm just sad at this moment. I'm just going to... obviously, I want to kind of review the match, but it's not even about reviewing matches at this moment, is it? That's the thing. That's the thing that I've come to realise recently. I didn't obviously do like a proper one for the Man United game because I was busy. I did do one for the City game. But it just doesn't even matter, man. There's nothing to review. Do you know what I mean? It's like there is only one problem now. And there's one immediate problem, right? And this is the problem in itself, because we could fix the immediate problem or we could change the immediate problem. Get rid of Liam Rosenior. Okay, great. That's the immediate problem gone. But then remains the problem of the sporting directors and of the ownership. And they just desperately need to start making better decisions, man. They need to start making better decisions. And what has to be called into question here is the sporting directors. Like, you know, they're getting pay rises and stuff recently, man, which is not something I've talked about because I try and focus on the football in general. But that was obviously a bit of a gut punch when it's like, look at how bad things are going. Take a load more money because the guy from Brighton has got all of his players from Brighton. The guy from the Man City Academy has got all of his players over from the Man City Academy. And that's kind of it. Almost all of our success stories have been from the Man City Academy or Brighton, and that just happens to be where two of the sporting directors came from. Help me. Tell me what you think about this in the comments, guys. Rant. Go nuts. Go absolutely nuts. Go crazy in the comments. Rant about Liam Rosenior. Rant about the sporting directors, rant about the ownership, rant about the terrible playing staff that we've got. Like, honestly, the starting 11s at the moment are literally nightmare-inducing, man. They're nightmare-inducing. I saw, like, just about an hour before the game started that Cole Palmer wasn't in the 11 from Fabi Rom on X, and I was just like, oh no, that's terrifying. That's a worry, isn't it? So this is the thing at the moment, is like, this kind of thing happens in football where your best players aren't always available. So you need to make sure that you've got solid backups, right? And normally what you need there is like a couple of experienced heads. And we just don't have that at the moment. Like, we've got no attacking threat without, you know, when João Pedro isn't there and Cole Palmer isn't there. And Cole Palmer, there's a conversation to be had about him because unfortunately he's not been very good recently either. But when these attacking threats aren't there, you need someone on the bench who can do a job, and we just don't have that. Like, you look at Brighton and Brentford and Everton's bench, and it looks better than ours. That is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Yes, you can put some of it down to injury, like, you know, Jamie Gittins and, you know, Esteval and whatever, but it's just like, it's not enough, man, because they're all kids. Do you know what I mean? They're all kids. All of our backups are kids. This is just a therapy session for me, guys. I'm sorry this isn't going to be quite as punchy and interesting as my usual videos, but I wanted to get something out anyway, and mainly I just want to give you guys a platform to tell me what you think about it, and let's all just be in this absolute mess together. I've tried to remain positive for a long time. I did through Graham Potter, even though I wasn't a YouTuber back then. Do you know what I mean? When the Graham Potter stuff was going down, I kind of was like, right, okay, maybe if they back him, we get over the hump, but it just kept on getting worse, and that's what's happening now. We're in Graham Potter 2.0. This is, I mentioned it earlier in today's video that it seemed like we were fast approaching it, and today feels like that nail in the coffin, right? That nail in the coffin where it's like, it doesn't matter. If we had Cole Palmer and João Pedro and Esteval available today, even Reece James, I don't think it matters. Maybe we don't lose 3-0, but I think we still lose. Do you know what I mean? Because just something has changed, because Liam Rosenior started fairly well. And maybe that was when he wasn't trying to change too much of what was going on from Maresca's stuff. And he even said that at the start. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I've got 2 games every week. I can't just come in and rip up the book or whatever. And it seems like we got that 2-week break, didn't we? Because we got knocked out of the Champions League or something, like I can't remember exactly what it was, but we had a 2-week break. And it seems since that 2-week break, this is where things have started to go bad. It started obviously with the goalkeeper situation, with Robert Sanchez having bad performances, getting dropped for Philip Jorgensen, and then that created problems, and it seems to have created a ripple throughout the squad where there's just no belief in the manager at all. There's just absolutely no belief, and he's not making the right decisions and stuff either. He's, and I get that's difficult, isn't it? Because he did try something different today at the end of the day. Like if we'd have just, people would probably be more annoyed if we'd have just gone out with our usual 4-2-3-1, whatever, and didn't try and change anything and then still ended up getting battered by Brighton. I guess the fact that he tried something different is sort of promising, but it feels like more of an enforced change because of the injuries rather than like, this is how we want to play. Like it's Brighton. We have the players to be able to take on Brighton. And the issue is as well, like at the beginning of this season, halfway through this season, Moises Caicedo up there with best CDMs in the world. Marco Correa, absolutely brilliant. João Pedro was actually off it a little bit, but, we had some of these players in our squad that were just putting in stellar performance after stellar performance. There was that period with Chalobah and Fofana where they were just getting clean sheet after clean sheet. So this has to come down to the manager, man, I think, and it's going to get really bad now if he doesn't get sacked, isn't it? That's the thing. Is like look, Newcastle was bad. Everton was an absolute gut punch. The Manchester games, yeah, like it's always difficult, but also it's the Manchester team, so it was a bit like, oh well, that was tough anyway. So, but this feels like it, and the narrative that we've just been jumped by Brighton as well, that really, really hurts. After such a wild weekend of football last weekend, where Sunderland and Everton both lost in their respective games that would have seen them jump us, all we had to do was get a point. Do you know what I mean? All we had to do was get a point in this to stay sixth, and now we're dropping. And, Brentford and Everton are not thinking about Chelsea now in terms of getting into a Europa League spot or a Conference League spot. They're now just thinking about Brighton. Do you know what I mean? It's like the top five. We're 7 points adrift of the top five. I think it might even, we're 7 points adrift of the top five. So we'd have to win and draw 2 more games than Liverpool, essentially, in the 4 remaining games that we've got. It's probably not going to happen, is it? Let's be completely honest. We're not going to get into the Champions League, bar an absolute miracle. I just don't think miracles exist. I think we used all of our miracle juice in this weekend just gone when we didn't get jumped by Sunderland and Everton, and this was our moment to actually show that we've got what it takes to maybe scrape into the Champions League, because that's what we would be doing this season. We would be scraping into the Champions League. You remember Pochettino's season? We finished 6th. And it felt like a success because we'd come from 12th the year before. And the last 6 games of the season, we went on this mad run. Everything clicked together and we just looked unplayable. And we look great. It's like the complete opposite this time, man. Like we've been in 6th for a while now and we have just been knocked out of it. And I don't think we're getting back there, are we? I don't think we're getting back there at all. So look, man, it's just countdown to the end of the season now, isn't it? Big decisions need to be made, and after the protests, fans are going to be incensed about this 100%. They're going to be putting more pressure on this on the club and the ownership and the sporting directors in order to make changes. The first change is going to have to be the manager. I don't necessarily. I guess at this point, it's like it's worth the roll of the dice, isn't it? Because like in my head before, like today, in fact, in today's earlier video, I was like, what do? You just put Callum McFarlane in for the rest of the season? And now I'm like, well, yeah, I guess so, because can it get worse than this? It can't. It literally actually can't get worse than this. Do you know what I mean? There is no way for it to get worse than this because we haven't won in 4 games. We've conceded, 15 goals in the last 5 and we haven't scored a goal. So this is as bad as it gets. We are literally the easiest team to play in the Premier League. It's something that Charlie Patrick from Blue Brother said to me when I had him on my It's Time to Talk About podcast. We are the easiest team to play in the Premier League, and he was 100% right. And I'm naive on purpose sometimes. Do you know what I mean? It's like I can see all this stuff in front of me, but the thing about football, do you know what I mean? The thing about football is magic can happen, and you never know when a turnaround is just going to snap at you like that. But no, it's the writing's been on the wall for a while. The season's been over for a while, to be completely honest, and it's just now, this feels like the moment that it's solidified. Do you know what I mean? There are 4 games left. We are not going to get enough points out of the last 4 games, and we would need to rely on Liverpool doing really, really badly, and the teams around us as well, like Everton, Sunderland, and Brighton. We need 4 teams to be bad for the rest of the season for us to get into the Champions League. It's not going to happen. It's absolutely not going to happen. So planning needs to be made for next season now. It already is. And again, this is part of the problem because Liam Rosini has been a big part of this planning. So what do you think they're going to do? We all know that the change is needed now because it isn't even just about the rest of the season now. It's like the abject nature of these performances, man. It's like we can't take this into next season. We absolutely can't. And it's such an uphill struggle to think that Liam Rosini can just get a few different players and magically turn it all around. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know, we've already got a load of guys coming in like Quenda and Omega and Mike Penders, but are they looking at this now being like, Omega and Penders especially, are they looking at this being like, do you know what, it's fine because we know how Rosini works. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. I do believe that we're still going to go in and buy some big players in the summer. I think we have to. But now the question absolutely 100% has to be asked, what do we do about the manager situation? There are managers available now as well. Do you know what I mean? Glasner is not going to be at Crystal Palace at the end of the season. Iraola is not going to be at Bournemouth at the end of this season. I don't think we've got a hope in hell of getting Fabregas. I know there's a lot of interest in Felipe Luis of Flamengo because they like the way he plays football and stuff, but I'd be concerned about that as well, to be honest, just because of the lack of Premier League experience. That's kind of what's been doing this for a while now, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, Maresca did pretty well to say that he was a Championship manager at the end of the day. The only competent manager we've had is Pochettino, really, since Bluco took over. And obviously he was like, no, I'm not really into this model, so he kind of walked for that. He might be available after the World Cup, but what would you guys think about getting Pochettino back in? I'm not really sure about that one because of the Spurs link, but it'd be interesting to talk to you about it at least. But yeah, man, I guess there are there's no available managers right now, but there is going to be at the end of the season and for the summer. And they need to start thinking about who that's going to be. So I guess at the very least, if they sack Liam Rosini now and bring in Callum McFarlane for the rest of the season to manage the team, then they can at least spend this time negotiating with managers to come in as soon as the season ends. Loads of players go to the World Cup, but then whoever isn't, which is a lot of our players, are going to still be here. Do you know what I mean? We're still going to have loads of players here that aren't going to the World Cup. So he'd be able to come in then, get as much of a pre-season as possible, have as much of a say in the transfers as possible, and hopefully just take us out of this passing out from the back nonsense, man, because it just doesn't work, does it? It's like how many teams in world football, well, not in world football, because you've got a couple that do it, obviously, like Bayern Munich and, Barcelona and PSG, but they can because they dominate their leagues on a regular basis, so they can do that. Look at the teams that are doing well in the Premier League, do you know what I mean? It's like Aston Villa, doing pretty well. Obviously, City don't even really pass out from the back anymore like they used to. Arsenal aren't playing passing out from the back football. They're winning with headers and long throws and free kicks and corners and stuff. But look at the teams around us that are doing well. Do you know what I mean? Brighton and Everton and Brentford. It's like these guys aren't playing out from the back. Do you know what I mean? They're dominating football with aggression and pace and transitional football. So it's all fine and good being like, we want the football to be pretty, but it doesn't matter because A, it's not pretty. Do you know what I mean? It's not fun to watch, is it? I'm not enjoying watching our team. I'm not like, do you know what? I don't mind that we're losing because look at that pass that Enzo Fernandez made. Like, obviously that's not even a thing. So, look, guys, tell me what you think about it, man. I've probably been ranting for long enough now. I'll start wrapping this one up. Like I say, this has just been an open therapy session for me because this is my first season as a content creator, and it started pretty well, but it's ending badly. So I need your help, and I need you to click the subscribe button because if one good thing can happen this season, it is that I reach my goal of 2,000 subs before the end of the season. We've got until the end of May. Look, we're going to get knocked out of the Cup by Leeds. We're not going to get into Europe. We're going to lose the majority of these games that we've got coming up. We're probably even going to lose to Tottenham. Can you imagine? Only us at the moment could be so bad that we give Tottenham the points they need to stay up. That would be devastating, wouldn't it? That would probably even be worse for me than Arsenal winning the league, having the opportunity for us to relegate Tottenham and not being able to do it. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, guys, if one good thing can happen, I can reach 2,000 subs and you can help me get there, please. Do it. Nice one. Thank you for sticking around until the end of this video if you did. I'll catch up with you all very, very soon, and I can't wait for the vitriol in my comment section. Take it easy. Peace.